And now our feature presentation.
Let's spin this new shit!
Hello and welcome to the CloudsDale Cafe. We are Flomrific here. I'm your host, Ragin, the host with the most. We have Nick, the Canadian Blizzard.
Hello.
We have Tommy, our favorite Aussie.
Chaboy.
And tonight we are interviewing FiMFlamFilosophy and Petirep.
Yes.
Oh.
They produce Rainbow Dash Presents.
Good job getting the names right. Good job.
Thank you. Because I was freaking out about it in the pre-show. But anyway, we will be interviewing them later. Right now, it's Booty time. Episode, what, 4? Yes, it was 4,
it was
correct?
episode, 4.5.
Yeah, shout out to
4
your
and 3.
counting abilities.
I only watched it once today, so...
I watched it 3 times.
That
Actually,
doesn't
4.
mean you can't count,
Whatever.
but it was alright. It was.
Animation was really good in this one, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, like, when they did the song, it looked like a music video, actually. So that's really...
I was gonna say that. It's I preferred it so much more than, it was way better than the way that they presented this day Rio, Winter Wrap Up, or Smile, or any of that. Like, it was cool. They had custom animation dedicated just to the music video. It wasn't like the ponies were just there singing it like they were actually on a stage. Like it was a stage Broadway. It was like an actual music video, like more or less like TV show songs actually should be.
And like the faces and the actions that they were doing, like when they were bobbing their heads with the milkshakes, oh my god, I watched that part like so many times. And like when I was gonna say Daisy, when Babs Seed was spitting out the apple seeds, like Scootaloo's face, like it was like in sheer terror. It was hilarious.
You guys seen the gif of Scootaloo's face where they're all waiting at the train station and Scootaloo's bouncing
Yeah.
Like her face.
She has gone ultra derp. Oh my god.
It was great. Though, what did you guys think about the episode, Finn and Ryan?
You first, Greg.
Actually-
you just saw it.
I did just see it. Did you happen to catch it yet?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you? Okay. Yeah, no, I just watched it with Kenza. I couldn't. I saw on 4chan that some people said it was really good, and some people said that they had a lot of emotional connect to the characters, maybe because of bullying and other things. But I couldn't stop laughing because the entire time, like, Babs Seed showed up with the New York accent, and all I could think of was Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Like I was doing my very best to visually picture her with the mustache and everything, like just doing her thing and just being really insecure. And then when I found out that she was being bullied, she's being bullied by a bunch of French fries and a drink. That was her life back in wherever it was she was from, New York. I don't know, Jersey, apparently.
Yeah,
Well, the tables were turned in the cinema. I mean, she drank that drink.
I saw that. She actually had the drink with the face.
And it was screaming in pure torture. I was like, oh my goodness, jeez, they're actually killing it.
So this is one of those characters. I'll have to check and see if Peter, if you remember Deimos Fox, he's got a lot of voices that he does. He sent me some things that he's actually really good. I'll have to see if he can do Carl. I wonder if he can. Otherwise, we'll have to see if someone else can do Carl. Because if we ever get to that character, if we ever do anything with that character, I'm pretty sure that Carl is the only voice we can do.
Awesome. I look forward to that.
And I just have to say about her New York accent, it sounds more like a Boston accent.
No,
To me,
that
it
was. Yeah, well, I was on the Rooster Teeth image board, and they were arguing about that. They were saying, some people said, actually, no, it wasn't the Rooster Teeth. It was a Facebook page. It was posted the photos posted from Maine, claims to be from Manhattan, Boston accent. And then the comments section was just a big flame war of whether it was Brooklyn, the Bronx, or if it was Boston. I don't know. I guess they were all I heard was Jersey Shore. I was waiting for it to like cut to her with like this drum beat in the background.
Get a
It's
Snooki
just-
out there, a Snooki pony.
Well, you know, Bab's the situation seed.
Oh God. I've never watched Jersey Shore because I will never degrade myself to that level.
I've watched
It's
it.
hilarious.
It's actually
I
really
can't-
funny.
It's like a
Because
bunch of retards.
They try to take everything seriously, I think. But it's just funny. Like, oh man.
What's so great about living in New Jersey anyway? Like on the Jersey Shore.
You get to watch that stuff happen.
Oh, or with the hurricane right now, you're pretty much got nothing left. Ooh,
You
too
went-
soon?
Oh,
Too soon? Too soon?
That's kind of
Nah. You won't lose. Like last week, you won't let me do my Jesus jokes, but no, you're saying that's too soon.
2,000 years.
Well.
Too soon.
He's dead and gone. What is he gonna do? Smite me?
Maybe a couple, maybe a couple
Maybe.
years or so. Okay. All right.
Well, you know, I don't know. I heard massive Jersey Shore, and God, I'm going to New York at the end of the year, so
Don't get mugged. That's all I'm asking.
we were like, we were actually looking through it. And we sound like the biggest white people because we started talking about the most dangerous place in New York, and we were just talking about like Brooklyn and everything, and we were like sitting in our 3-story house on our iPads, looking up places you shouldn't go places you shouldn't go in New York, and Bronx actually has a surprisingly low crime rate
I think New
compared to other
York
places.
is a giant ghetto.
You should go to Canada.
Ooh,
Yeah, go to Canada.
wow, so much to see.
Yeah,
Do
I
you actually
know.
do you have any kind of like distinctive thing that says Canada?
CN Tower.
I haven't heard of that.
Really?
Is that like Cartoon Network Tower? Oh, that thing.
Boo.
Yeah,
Ugh.
maple syrup.
God.
It's like a needle. It's like a rip-off of the Space Needle.
It probably is.
I'm pissing off so many Canadians with what I'm saying.
Yes, you are actually. One right here.
You know, I could say all Canadians are just moose lovers and end it with that. But
Well, you know.
I like my beavers.
Shut
I
up,
can't even
Nick.
get that with a straight face.
Hold on.
Oh,
You
But
laughed at your own joke.
sorry, I
The
can't.
only one to laugh at your own joke.
Hey,
So,
if
you
you're
know.
Canadian, you would understand.
this is what we have to deal with every day. Other than that, are you guys going to any conventions anytime soon?
Yeah. Well, in the summer, I guess. That's soon, I guess.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be going to one down in Miami on I think it's like the 20th of January. They're gonna have Andrea Libman there. I'm trying to remember who else is there, but it's Anime Miami, so I'm gonna be going. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing there. Walking around, just be like, what's up? Pretty much. But so everybody in Florida needs to go down to that because I will be there.
Oh, you're just gonna get swarmed by your fans, aren't
No,
you?
I won't. There'll be like 4 people. They'll be like, sup?
Wait, who
Yeah,
are you
Greg
again?
Greg and I are working on going to the what is it called? Sweet Apple Acres Con? Yeah, Sweet
Yeah.
Apple Acres Con in Tennessee, in Nashville. And that'll be early July, so that'll be cool.
Yeah.
And I've never been to a con before, so it's
No,
gonna
neither
be
of us have.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Alan's going to be coming out too. He's really looking forward to it. Apparently, he's always kind of wanted to go to Nashville.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know what's out there, but Ionic Comics. What's her real name? I've been talking to her. She's real nice.
Annie.
Annie. Yeah, that's right, Annie. Yeah, she said there's actually a lot of stuff to do down there. So so while we're there, I don't know if we're going to be there just for the con and we're going to go or not. But yeah, she said it was a real nice place.
Yeah, I can tell you, Tennessee and Nashville is really, really good. I went through there once, and it's really nice. A lot of Southern people there too, so you got to deal with pretty much those type of people.
Well,
I'm in Texas, so
Well,
Yeah,
that
I don't think Petirep and I have to worry too much about that.
you're in the South, boy.
isn't some of the Walking Dead filmed in Nashville? I swear it is.
I thought it was like
Probably.
Alabama and stuff.
Surprisingly, Nashville has a pretty big film hub area, I guess. Lots of film stuff in Nashville.
I was listening to Rooster Teeth talk about how helpful Austin is with filming. Like, it's the best place to go if you want to film something big in the streets. Like, they just talk to the city. One of Austin's main streets just hired out with about 20,000 extras to do a zombie scene. And I don't know, like, apparently they're the most helpful film friendly kind of place.
Yeah, Austin has a big film society, big film culture. I actually live in Austin, so I know that. But that's also probably why the traffic is horrible, because they're always filming zombie movies and blocking off traffic.
Damn it!
Oh, that World War Z crap. Oh, the movie looks terrible. Why Brad Pitt is so much better.
Is it really that bad? I haven't heard anything much about it. I've only seen little...
It's not that it's that terrible, it's that the book was so good and this is so much different from the book. That's what I hear anyway. I haven't read the book.
But speaking of movies, I can't wait for The Hobbit to come out. It's gonna come out, I think, what? Next month? 14th of December, something like that? 16th? It's in the teens, or something like that, so...
Yeah, it's
I've been waiting for a long time for this movie.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the, what is it, the 86 frame rate? What is it? 86 frames? Whatever, the higher frame rate for it.
They have a higher frame rate for the movie?
Yeah, apparently the movie was filmed at, like, twice the regular frame rate. Like, I guess, what's regular shutter speed? I forgot, is it?
It's,
I should know that. 40...
It's usually 24 frames a second.
That was 30.
Peter Jackson's 48 FPS version of The Hobbit.
48.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's... I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make, but like, for me, the difference of frame rate has always been big on slow motion scenes. And it's not the biggest, like, difference maker when it's just straight up regular speed filming, but if Peter Jackson thinks it's worth that much more work, that much more file size and everything, go for it.
Can you explain this to me? Because I'm like, you gotta explain it to me like I'm a small stupid child, even though I can be at times. What's the difference between 24 and 48?
Okay, so, well, who wants to explain this here?
Well, I guess the difference is that like a film, the reason why you see motion in a film is because they're playing like a bunch of pictures in 1 second. So instead of playing the regular 24 frames per second, which is most movies, there's twice as many frames. There's 48, and it's not moving faster than it would. It's just more images being played at like in the same period of time, and basically it's less engaging for your brain because the lower the frame rate, the more it engages your brain. So because it has to fill in the gaps, and that's why a film on is usually more interesting than just staring at, you know, a real life image, because the frame rate is lower and it engages your brain a little bit more, and it has to fill in the gaps.
Well, the thing with oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, the thing is with frame rate is just like, it's all about I'm trying to figure out like what frame rate is. It's the amount of frames that are shot per second. So 20 is 24 frames per second. And why I'm wondering if The Hobbit's going to be like all slow motion is the point of a high frame rate is so when you slow it down, instead of getting, say, 3 blurry images of a hand moving across the screen, you'll get this really smooth, even thing. But I can't imagine... Really, the only time I found frame rate to be useful to me is when I'm doing slow motion scenes. Like when I added Call of Duty, it was a huge thing. You had to have 60 frames per second. Otherwise, you'd get this amount of blur going behind it. So it's all about how much more is going to go into the film, how much more detail is going to be put into every single frame, and I don't see it being necessary, but I haven't even seen the film. I don't know what they're going to do with this extra frame rate, so I mean, it's up to them.
Yeah, because have they done this in the past, though, with movies?
Well, the thing is, the film frame rate per second is 24 frames per second. That's the standard, and for slowing down, they'll use special cameras for slow motion stuff. Like when you see an NFL promo, that'll be shot at like 25,000 frames a second or something like that. And for TV though, in America, you have NTSC, which is 29.97 frames per second. But in the rest of the world, Australia, like, we still have 24 frames a second. But TV, because it's a smaller scale, they like to use a high frame rate. But the film standard is 24 frames a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I know, and no one's having a battle.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Jose.
What?
But the Hobbit movie, I mean, the only Hobbit movie that came out was the VHS one, which was like in the 70s or 80s or something, which was god-awful. Because I watched it and I was just practically just in a ball crying because I could not tell what was going on and they butchered it so bad.
Wasn't it a cartoon?
Yeah, it was a cartoon and they made, damn it, what's his name? Not Frodo, what am I thinking?
Bilbo?
No, Bilbo Baggins.
Gandalf.
No, Gandalf was okay. Bilbo Baggins. My friend calls him Bilbo Faggins.
Wow. Mature.
I know, right? But they made him okay, but they made the dwarfs just plain useless. And then they made Smeagol into like some frog troll creature, which I got a little... I'm like, that's not how I pictured him. Like, pictured him, not pictured. I made a new word.
Wow.
Fiction, right?
Yes,
in my
words all over the place,
Ragin's learning how to spell or dictionary or whatever.
Wow.
We'll sell that sometime.
Will we?
No.
Yeah.
We'll throw that away with all our other stupid ideas. But anyway, have you guys seen it? Have you ever seen the VHS of The Hobbit?
I haven't actually.
I mean, the old
around.
I've seen part of it.
Go watch it, like online or something, sometime before you watch The Hobbit to compare with this and the old one. It's just horrible. You don't know what's going on. Everything's like just really quick going, and you're just like, what's going on? There's useless talking. It would have been better if they didn't even speak at all because it's that bad. It's literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen, next to Birdemic.
Is that why they're splitting it up into 3 movies?
Yeah, I guess, to probably do it better, because everybody nowadays are splitting everything into 3, like, 2-parters or whatever. Like Harry Potter did it,
Twilight.
Harry Potter and Twilight.
God, Twilight.
If you can break Twilight up into 2 movies.
Can you even put Twilight into a movie?
Break up making Toast into 2 parts if they're going to break up Twilight.
A movie about toast would be better than Twilight.
Especially if it's powdered toast, man. That would be really awesome.
Wait. Powdered toast?
Oh, you haven't seen Powdered Toast, man?
No.
Oh man.
My god, Ragin.
I haven't seen Powdered Toast.
Man.
So me and Nick are in the same damn boat.
Oh man, you gotta look it up.
Toast.
Powdered
It's
Toast.
amazing.
It's from Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, okay.
Powdered
yeah,
Toast,
I'll check
man.
that out later then.
Yeah, I gotta go look back up on Ragin Pinkie, but I heard Animaniacs are gonna be on the hub.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. I saw
Wait.
a glimpse of that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is it going to be a reboot, or is it going to be like old episodes?
I just saw it and I didn't really look into it.
I doubt it's
should've.
going to be new.
They
but
can't, but it's...
Hopefully
God.
it's just reruns, because I don't really want to see them change.
No, you can't, and they
Change
would make
that.
it politically correct. There's no way of
Yeah.
trying to keep that old humor, and it's going to be really old humor, so there's going to be kids going, what is this?
Yeah, no, it's great. They're gonna not get any of the Bill Clinton references or any of that.
But we all will.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. Animaniacs joins the hub this December. After airing the Animaniacs Wacko's Wish movie this month, the hub will begin airing the TV series starting in December as the perfect Christmas gift. Animaniacs will join the hub on Monday, December 24, with a marathon from 4 to 8 p.m.
Sweet.
So
This is awesome.
they're going to start with a bunch of specials. A Christmas plot, 'Twas the Day Before Christmas. Cutie and the Beast, The Christmas Tree, Chicken Part 1, Prom Night, Chicken Part 2. Yeah, so
The 90s.
I didn't know that the hub was in cohorts with Warner Brothers.
Unless,
I thought Warner Brothers were...
unless Hasbro got the rights for Animaniacs or something. I don't know.
I seriously doubt it.
Yeah,
Like, the Animaniacs is the biggest Warner Brothers... Like, come on, they jump out of the logo in the intro.
True. But watch them edit out the Warner Brothers logo.
I'd like to see that considering it's the Warner Brothers Tower.
Yeah, I know.
But they
Now it's
replace
the
that with the Hub logo. Watch them do that.
God.
I don't know. It's kind of, them doing that's actually very ballsy to do, I would say.
Well, good. More educational crap for kids. I want to see the next generation sing the nation's song.
Well, we're going to probably have people that are going to complain about it like they did with the Derpy situation or any other situation that's kind of adultish. They're going to look at it and go, my kid doesn't need to be watching references like that. I'm like, look at the TV shows on today. Bloods, violence, everything. It's no different.
There actually isn't that much blood in new TV. Apart from Tom and Jerry, they destroyed that.
Yeah, they...
The new Itchy and Scratchy and the new Tom and Jerry has more blood than I'm comfortable with.
Wait. When did Itchy and Scratchy get blood?
No,
They
I just
took
mean
that
when
out.
the Simpsons do an Itchy and Scratchy skit, they make it like gory now.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It used to be gory though. In like the
No,
Itchy and
90s.
Scratchy is always gory. That's the whole point of Itchy and Scratchy.
Well, they kind of took out the gore and the blood when they did the movie. That was the last time I ever watched The Simpsons, and I kind of was like, I don't need to watch this.
I can't remember what they did in the movie. What did they do in the movie?
They had a
Itchy.
Oh yeah,
was
they
like
went to the
Itchy
moon.
was the president. Itchy was the president. He took Scratchy to the moon, and he
Yeah,
launched a missile. And
his
all
head
sorts.
exploded. That's right.
then Homer started talking, and they got kicked out of the film.
Spider Pig, Spider Pig.
No,
No.
please no, don't.
It's almost as bad as Gak, isn't it?
That was
no. No, not as bad.
It's as
Not
bad
quite.
as Floam.
Floam and Gak is what's taken over the hub. That's all they have for commercials nowadays.
I haven't watched the hub anymore. Like, I don't even watch live streams.
I don't
Oh,
even
speaking
get
of-
the hub.
Speaking of live streams, Brony TV and Brony State got hacked today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Who?
I don't know. Somebody's by the name Horsefucker.
No, the way, like, the message
Oh,
said, hacked by /v/
B.
You mad?
You mad? Oh, yeah,
you mad
you mad
horse. You
horse
mad
fuckers.
horse effers. Oh, okay. We're just gonna be sworn all over the place
Okay.
then. Okay.
Well, direct quote. It's okay.
Yeah. I
The
guess.
second time I got hacked, they played Rainbow Factory with some girl having her skin ripped off. So I was like,
Wow.
what?
It's pretty full on.
I'm like, should I feel butthurt about this? Should I? No, it's just kind of irritating that you're kind of hacking the stream because you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, I was on Hack's
Oh.
Mega live stream, so it was all right for me.
I
okay.
went to sleep instead of watching a stream.
Yeah.
I was tired.
Yeah, it's Sunday over in Aussie land.
Aussie Land.
Aussie Land, yes.
Wow.
That's it.
Sounds like a really crappy theme park.
Welcome to Aussie land.
Just got some guy in a kangaroo suit in the front.
I was gonna make a Steve Irwin joke, but no. He's like your god over there, isn't he?
He is the ultimate example of an Aussie.
He
is like the friendliest, nicest bloke you can imagine that just embodies, like, when you look, like, if you had to ask an Aussie, like, you show them, say, our top 5 media guys, like Hugh Jackman. I don't know if you could, the only two I can think of are Hugh Jackman and Steve Irwin. But if you compared the two, you'd be like, Steve Irwin, that's the guy that he'd be if he was still alive, he'd be our ambassador.
Have you ever been to a zoo, though?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, I've been to a zoo. You're not Australian if you haven't been to a zoo.
I've always wanted to go to a zoo. How is it, though?
You haven't gone to a zoo?
Oh, it's not bad.
Just a bunch of alligators everywhere? Or crocodiles? Whatever?
Crocodiles. We don't have alligators.
Yeah, we have alligators.
But it's... I don't know, it's a good place. It's, you... I don't know, it's pretty much an average zoo, except it's a lot bigger, it's a lot nicer, there's a lot more emphasis on crocodiles and his family.
It's just a family-run zoo.
It is. Bindi Owen.
Bindi?
Bindi Owen, his daughter.
Yeah, she runs it, or... Wait, is she, like...
No, she's pretty... She's the most famous Owen now. And I can't even remember what his son's called.
I don't know. Bob? I think it's Bob or something.
Oh no. I have to look this up, but keep going. But no, it's a good zoo, and all of my mates have been there at least once. It's Robbie Owen.
Oh. But yeah, I can't. I'm pumped up for this convention I'm going with. I'm going with a girl that I've known for a very, very long time, and she's cosplaying as a sexy Spike. So I'm like, how are you cosplaying as a sexy Spike?
More or less, why are you cosplaying as Spike?
That's what I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her when I see her soon. I'm gonna be like, why are you being such a Nick?
Well, I have a window.
For those that don't know, we like to call Nick Spike ever since I think
Apparently.
it was we just started. We're like, you're the Spike of this group.
Yeah, it's like watching.
But
Well,
we love
take
you.
a page out of Jessica Negri's book and go as Ramadasha Fluttershy.
I think I might do a Soren cosplay.
Don't cosplay.
I don't know.
Wear a hat.
Don't
Every time this is all I said I was doing. I was just get a hoodie, the Wonderbolts hoodie, and just wear aviators and just walk around and be like, so.
Whoa,
Or you
Yeah,
could just,
breaking
yeah.
new ground.
rock up and look cool.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know what I'll do. I might just walk around with a wife beater on, just going, sup? Yeah.
Wife beater.
I just walked in. You guys watch ponies? So do I. It's in
So
the...
this is called Anime Miami.
Yeah, it's called Anime Miami, and I'll give you a link. I could give you guys a link now, but I love how they're not even telling you pricing, how to get in. They're like, oh, we have hotels, but we're not telling you how much it's going to take to get in. So I'm like, great. I doubt it's going to be like, what, $30 to get in.
Whatever.
I don't know. I'll worry
I think
about
it's
it when
like
it gets closer.
40 or 50 maybe.
It's over 9,000. Rah.
That
No.
would make sense. Yeah,
But, yeah. So, should we do the interview now or have one topic?
You want to have one topic, or do you want to just go for it?
we
It's
didn't
up to
really
you guys.
talk about the episode.
What episode?
There's nothing to talk about. It was a good
Yeah.
episode. It was on bullying. I mean, the Crusaders fought back and they found out the last minute
It's a
what
typical
went
bully
wrong.
episode. It really is.
I like how Babseed was portrayed as a bully. Like, they didn't go full out right. It's like, I'm bully to you people. No, like they actually kind of put in a segue and they kind of foreshadowed that she was very insecure of not having a cutie mark. So, and then becoming a bully, it's just like, oh, yeah. Something.
Well, I
must have
picked it like the 10-minute mark where they did the Babseed and the other two bitches whose name I can't. Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon did that bump thing, and they all held up their flanks, and then you saw Babseed cover where her cutie mark should be with her tail. And I'm like,
think
oh,
they would never
right, that's
notice it.
got it.
Before.
Yeah, I noticed it.
I noticed
Yeah.
it. But
It's like, whatever.
I don't know if it was actually a reference, but like the reference to Star Wars, like she just
Yeah,
went
I
to the dark
saw
side. Also, the
That's-
A-Team, the A-Team theme.
The A-Team was pretty
Oh, yeah.
much spot on there.
Yeah, like except for that one note.
They had to, probably for copyright reasons.
reasons, but still, it was great. I like that.
You know what would have been funny if Hasbro bought out Disney, which if they bought out Disney or whatever it was, or Disney bought out Hasbro. That's I gotta ask backwards. Shut up. Wouldn't that mean they could use Star Wars reference and a lot of other references with no problem?
They
Wait, they bought Hasbro?
No,
they haven't.
If they got Hasbro.
But they could put Luke Skywalker in there. They could you could just be doing like
You could just walk up, go, sup, hi guys, what are you doing?
and just like, whoa,
Let's for
time machine.
But
Well,
let's do this interview.
yeah.
Interview time.
Interview time, guys.
Were you?
Oh, I almost did my Rainbow Dash presents Rainbow voice or whatever.
Very bad.
He tries that all the time, and he sucks at it all the
I know
time.
I suck at it.
he does.
I'm not a very good person at doing other voices.
My best is Sean Connery, which sucks.
It's actually better than mine.
Anyway,
The fact that you're debating over your Sean Connery impression says a lot.
Yeah. So, what do you think of season 3 so far? Like your thoughts on it, pretty much. Just
I didn't like the season opener all that much, but I like the last 2 episodes. So I mean, it'll be a good season, I think.
for.
Yes, I think it's been okay so far. Is that it's gotten more flack than it probably really deserves. People complain about the writing of this. Oh, Sombra wasn't very good or whatnot. But I think that any more people have forgotten that it's a kid show, and it always started off as a kid show. And what made it kind of fun and entertaining to watch was not really just watching it for its face value, but also kind of looking into it and trying to like. When it first started, you kind of realized that the ponies were a little bit neurotic and they were capable of depression and they had issues. So you had to question how did Celestia manage to stay in power over 1,000 years, over tons of crazy ponies that just have all kinds of personal problems, and the whole thing is just really cute. But anymore, though, the fandom's been around for so long that people kind of overanalyze it. They try to figure out what do they like about it, why do they like it, and eventually at a certain point I don't really see very many people thinking things through. I haven't seen a lot of backstory ideas for King Sombra. He showed up, he exploded, he died, he's totally blank slate. I mean, people went to town with Luna, but King Sombra's had really no interest. So I think it's been okay. I mean, I've been watching it, Kenza and I kind of get together and we watch, and so we joke through the whole thing, and I don't know. My particular watching experience is unique to my own take on the show. Just like this last episode, the whole thing was about Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The episodes have a different value for me than what they just kind of pop out as.
Sounds good, but like, do you really think that because how they did with Sombra, he pretty much just grunted and went crystals or whatever he said.
Man, deep character.
I know, right? It's so deep. But why do you think they just did a throwaway? My thing is they're going to bring him back later. Because if you see in the end when he blows up, he's actually technically the first guy first person to actually ever die in the series. Everybody else is just like they get either blasted off like Team Rocket, or they get turned into stone, or turned good again. This time he dies, and the only thing left of him is the horn. And what people are saying now is that his horn and with the Trixie episode, they're kind of intertwining that and turning it out that because Trixie's technically evil now. Sorry, Tommy.
Why do they do that to her? It's so... I don't want her to become that one, like, absolute cliche is just an asshole because she's an asshole kind of character. Why can't we just... Why can't... Get a real story in there, do something... I mean, Diamond Tiara is just like... They have kind of a reason for it because, I mean, she's a little girl, and there's always that little girl bitch that's just a bitch because she's a bitch. She grew up as a bitch, and then she'll eventually get out of the bitchiness. But
I doubt it.
I want them to actually do something instead of just to throw in the towel and say, nah, she's evil.
Well, hey, maybe you know, maybe Trixie's not like that. Maybe she has, like, you know, some sort of vendetta or whatever. I mean, who knows?
Oh, I'm sure the vendetta.
Is that the
will
next
come to
episode?
it. Yes,
that
it
the
is.
next episode?
Yep.
Okay.
Remember.
Seeing.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like, frankly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, it's not that she found the Sombra's horn or anything like that. She just, like, she ran away from Ponyville with no home. Like,
Her trailer got destroyed.
yeah. So I'm thinking it's like
That's
okay,
what I want them to do, not just to crap on, say, oh, she's suddenly evil. Like, at the end of the episode, she left Ponyville with nothing but herself. Nothing. She didn't even have a bloody cape and hat. She had nothing left, and I really don't want them just to end up saying, oh, no, we're not going to go into that. We're not going to go into why she's so annoyed, or the fact that her house was destroyed maybe because of her lies, but she really had nothing to do with that, Ursa coming back. But I don't know, I have a bad feeling they're just going to ruin Trixie. Hopefully not.
You're a big fan of Trixie, I can tell that.
How did you not notice beforehand?
I know, I'm just saying. But can you tell us like a bit of a brief history about like how you guys formed Rainbow Dash Presents, and even before that you did the Abridged series?
If we start as far back as the starting the Abridged series, that was way back. I guess how long has it been now? Like 2? Is it almost been 2 years? Maybe this like a year and a half now.
Yeah, I think you started in the spring of last year.
Yeah, something like at the end of season 1, I think, is when this got started. But way back then, back when Equestria Daily was still very small, well, small enough, people could kind of get anything posted on there. And one of the things that someone got posted is they claimed, like, oh, we're starting our own Abridged show. And so they were looking for talent. And they wanted voice actors mainly. So I applied, and I gave them a voice, and I sounded pretty similar to Brayburn. So they brought me on, and I don't know why that they were bringing on people for Brayburn so early in, that they were planning to go all the way in. I haven't even gotten to Brayburn yet, and I've been working at the whole thing for longer than they have. I haven't been, I haven't been posting, but I got more episodes done. But in any case, though, I knew that was going to be really far away, so I asked them if I could do anything else to help out. And one of the things I started to help them with was writing. But eventually that kind of went sour when they started to tear apart my writing, and then the entire group descended on it. They just rewrote everything that I did, and it drove me a little bit crazy. There was some controversy over it, and then I left, and I started my own thing. For a while, I thought that they were going to be a big deal. I kind of kept an eye on them, and I was trying my best to just do better than they were, because they frustrated me so much. But then they never really did produce anything else. That was kind of it. They had their one shot, and then they did another episode, and that didn't get well received. And then they gave up, and they gave up with a lot of complaining. They kind of tore other people down and tried to suck other people in. But I'm pretty sure that they're sort of not a name anymore out there. After that, I kind of just did the episodes for a while till I got to number 10 there around. And at some point in there, I thought it might be fun, based on a fic that I read. This was actually they call it Rarity's Generous Plan. But it was a rape fic, and so I actually read an excerpt from that without realizing that it was a rape fic. And it was one of those things that was told from the perspective of Rainbow Dash. And by that time, our Rainbow Dash had already gotten to be really happy-go-lucky and just ridiculous. So I kind of thought about it in perspective of Rainbow Dash, and kind of how the entire catastrophic incident would have gone differently if just our pony had been... I don't know if in the fic, Rainbow Dash was actually kind of stupid. She sort of just allowed everything to happen for the sake of having it happen and it being terrible. But I just thought that it would be kind of amusing to have a more silly Rainbow Dash show up and kind of blow the entire thing by, I don't know, making the whole thing ridiculous, telling them about stuff she was going to eat that day. Would have averted the entire situation. But I didn't really have an artist working with me at that time, so we got together, and we decided, me and some of the other guys who were helping me out doing voices and whatnot, we decided we would drink and we would draw pictures of ponies. And none of us had any artistic talent, though, so it was really kind of falling apart. But then I got some artwork from Petirep as just sending me fan art. And so I asked him if he wanted to help us out and join on and do a video. And sure enough, that's where we are today. So
thousands and thousands of pictures later.
Yes, thousands, at least probably by like 3,000 now, probably more. You would
probably more than that, yeah. Because Rainbow Factory or whatever, Biker Gorilla had
I love that name.
maybe about 1,200 or so. Haunting Nightmare had about 2,000 or so, and then all the ones before that probably a bit more. And then the stuff I've been doing for My Little Dashie has been really detailed. So yeah, it's probably over 3,000.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't post all of those. Just a couple of them.
Wait, when did you start working on My Little Dashie now? I can't remember.
Started in the end of September, very end of September. So it's been about 2 or 3 months, or just wait, no, two full months.
Oh wow!
And it's halfway done. I'm hoping to get it done late December or early January, around that time.
Oh, that reminds me. Kenza sent me those final lines for the song, so I can get that put together and sent to you.
Awesome.
Pull that out of my email.
I just had to ask real quick, why did you make Dashie fat? I just have to ask.
Do you want to tell him, or do you want to save that?
No, she's always been fat.
Perfect reason. Okay.
Perfect reason.
I never noticed before though.
But you're.
It's just the gut too. It's not like she's flabby all around. It's like that disgusting Twilight belly at the start of episode 1.
I've gotten compliments on my fat Dashie design, actually.
That is pretty good. Yeah, Kenza thinks it's adorable. She's also seen the lines. I think I told you she's seen what we've got so far of her parts, and she just thinks it's so cute.
Yeah.
And how you came up with the voices, they fit pretty much perfectly with each character too. Instead of trying to actually make them sound like the real characters from the show, you just took a totally different direction and just made them your own, and it's perfect. And I have to say, I love them.
Sweetie Belle's voice, spot on. Exactly what I was imagining myself as. Yeah, Thrakazard.
Well, a bunch of them kind of grooved into their voices after a while. When I first started, I know Rainbow Dash was more of a Christopher Walken kind of thing. And, yeah, she was. She was kind of like, I'm gonna do a trick over there. Everyone watch. And that was kind of how she was. She was kind of like I said, more of a Christopher Walken. But she began speaking faster, and the pitch got a little bit higher, and so she just kind of become cuter and cuter. And the cuter she gets, the more I kind of enjoy doing her lines, and the more people respond to her and whatnot. And so it's all just been kind of, she's just gradually, they call it Flanderization on TV tropes. But I don't know. She just gets more fun to write for and to voice act for and everything else. The cuter she gets, so. So she's developed a lot.
I guess the art helped develop that a little bit too.
Yeah, well, because the art kept getting cuter too, and so the voice would get cuter, and then the art would get cuter, and everything else, it would just keep going. And yeah.
But it looks like I guess that Rainbow Dash's old voice is now her mom's voice, according to this latest episode.
Yes, that's actually what I've decided. Is now that the Christopher Walken voice has been abandoned by Dash, if her mom ever shows up in an episode. She's got the Christopher Walken voice.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. But I've been listening to you speak, and I'm just like, that's Twilight, isn't it?
Yeah, she's actually just my normal voice. A little bit deeper though, a lot of times, because she condescends to everybody. So.
And Spike's Irish.
Yeah.
He's like Scott Irish. He's not really. Any particular accurate nationality. Scott Irish is, I think, is what they call it. Scott Irish.
Huh.
It's fake Irish. It's not anything real.
Okay, I was thinking, was that actually a thing? I was trying to think. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Scott Orish is really the best way to describe it.
Also, where'd you get the kind of like the characteristics for Sakura? Like, there's looking at the thinking back on the characters, I can't think of anything that would really kind of provoke that kind of personality.
I think it was just the frame. Like, I was like, how should she curse them? And she was backing up and talking to them, and then I was just like, I'll just hold it on this frame, and she'll just like utter a single note at them, and then that will be the curse, or something like that. It was just something bizarre. But then Smeg came in and he voiced that, and he did a really good job just doing the mentally handicapped zebra, and so
mentally advanced.
Yeah, she's very advanced. She's not stupid.
I thought she had a bit of a feminine kind of going, a little. I would have to say feminine, not to piss people off if I was going to say, because she's got the voice of like, oh my god, like almost like a gay voice. I don't want to sound mean or anything, but that's what it reminds me of.
Sakura?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
A little feminine. I think feminine.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll tell Smeg.
Yeah. Hey, you know that show we went to get interviewed on? Yeah, they insulted you.
Yeah, they said you
You're
sound
feminine.
No, I love it. All the characters are perfect. Pinkie Pie is like one of my favorite. Actually, my favorite has to be the pony with the van from Biker Hook and the
German.
Yeah,
The German immigrant sitter pony with the Dr. Cat.
That was the greatest.
Yes, that was Spottable Bus who did that for us. She was for the longest time, she was our only female voice actor, and yeah, that one was kind of an amusing story, because when I first came to her, I was like, yeah, do you think you could do an English voice or an English accent? Because she's supposed to be filled. She's based on Wizard People. The name of Dazzler is, and Wizard People, Dear Reader, which is a Harry Potter kind of parody. And she goes, no, they can't do it, and so for a while we were just gonna kind of abandon her doing the voice, but then later she came back. She's like, I'll just do German. So that was good enough. Yeah. So she was happy with German.
It's got to be the funnest part of working on something like Rainbow Dash Presents, where it's not so serious that you have to make sure that every character stays completely in the bounds of what they should sound like. That you can actually say, you know what, it'd be funny if I made Sweetie Belle with a name like Sweetie Belle and a design like Sweetie Belle sound like, I don't know, a white Morgan Freeman almost. But
What?
I think Alan would like that description.
White Morgan
Freeman. Well, that's a compliment. But so when you guys are planning a Rainbow Dash Presents episode, is there anything you look for in a fan fiction when you know you're going to parody it?
Logical errors usually. Like if they do things that are more emotional than logical. Like so often you just get things like what's a good example? Like with Rainbow Factory. I mean, it was actually not a bad fic. The very beginning was even kind of compelling when they go to their exams and they fail their exams. It's just very final, and it's kind of terrible. People have nightmares about that sort of thing, and so that was very emotional. But then a lot of the fic was just not. It wasn't very logical though. They didn't follow a lot of common sense. Like you couldn't see how anyone would have come to these conclusions that they did some of the time. Most of them are like that. Haunting Nightmare, I got a little bit more wrapped up in the horror stuff. I always kind of like horror, but I don't know. Just any time when logic takes a backseat to emotional behavior is what I like to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes so just the logical errors. Look for something that says that doesn't make sense. Let's make fun of that. Almost kind of like you're reviewing the fan fiction in a little way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just take it out a step further, because you just run with the emotional stuff. Like you embrace it, and it kind of hyperbolizes the whole thing, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. Just when they're really emotional, when they get really worked up over just things that don't make a lot of logical sense, they just get very excited about something that's kind of stupid. So it becomes a lot of fun.
Makes sense.
Is there any reason why you stopped with the abridged version? like just the abridged? Because I think you went up to episode 10.
Yeah, well, I kind of just got I got very busy, and it became really difficult to keep working on it. We've actually decided to just go ahead and scrap, though, episode 11. We're going to start on episode 12. And by start, I mean I've already got it kind of going. We've got a bunch of it done, and a bunch of background music. I still have some stuff to polish back, but we've actually got a fair amount ready to go for episode 12. So, yeah, I'm hoping that'll be out either next week or the week after.
Oh, that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so...
The long-waited wait.
Yeah, I guess Rainbow Dash is easier because it's all outsourced. So
the art, yeah. Well, most of the editing, yeah, the editing is a little bit simpler, and it was less tedious though, because with editing Rainbow Dash Presents, it was all kind of different frames.
Yeah.
Whereas editing the Mentally Advanced series requires you to use stuff that you've already got, and a lot of times, sometimes it doesn't fit for something that you want, and then you spend so much time on like lip flaps and things like that that it can just get very, very tedious, and it's hard to work up motivation sometimes to sit down and just do that for hours, because it can take like 2 or 3 hours. You get 30 seconds, maybe a minute done, and or for 4 hours it should be like a minute done, depending on how much talking is in the scene and how often the scene changes and so on.
How long does it averagely take you to do an entire like the Rainbow Dash Presents series? Like, how long does it take just to do one of the episodes?
It depends on the episode.
I think your shortest one was A Beautiful Day in Equestria.
Yeah, that one took a month because I was moving. Like, I had like 3 weeks that I couldn't work on it, so it took a long time. But that one was only supposed to take about a week or 2, but it ended up taking twice as long.
Oh, yeah.
We just had personal life stuff come up on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Life comes first, then ponies.
Not for me.
There is no separation between.
Yeah.
Life is ponies.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually kind of funny because like one of my papers for college, I just kind of wrote about bronies and stuff like that. And then my next paper, I was saying like, all right, I'm not gonna talk about bronies at all. I somehow subconsciously, I somehow managed to reference a bunch of stuff from it. I was like, how'd that happen? I think I should kind of cut it sometime soon.
What was the paper about, by the way?
Oh, it was about bullying and stuff like that. Just kind of like dealing with it and stuff like that. It was a while back, but the
interesting. I was hoping it was like some sort of math paper or something like that.
Oh,
and then
no.
like really out of left field.
Yeah. No, but like with my the first paper, it was just like talking about bronies, like trying to explain to someone who doesn't know about it at all. And it was kind of funny trying to explain it to my teacher, because I was talking to him about it, and he was saying he was having a hard time believing me that there was this entire subculture on the internet liking this show of pretty much of young adult men. I think it's like it's there.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, compared to, say, your first Rainbow Dash Presents episode and to, I guess, My Little Dashie, how much have you, in your opinion, improved, say, in drawing and in writing, structure, that kind of thing?
Well, in art, yeah, definitely improved quite a bit, because it's when I first started, I barely even knew how to draw the pony characters, because I was still getting used to the style. I hadn't learned the anatomy yet, but after drawing thousands of pictures, you kind of pick up on it after a while. So, but yeah, definitely improved.
For writing and stuff, it's actually really hard to say whether or not I've had a lot of improvement. I've done a lot of writing since I got started on this stuff, and I will say that that I've gotten better at it. but everything kind of varies. It depends on what kind of things I try to do. But with other things though, like music and writing lyrics and things like that, we've been getting better. I've been getting better and better with that as I practice. I do more and more custom kind of things. I've even done a few things with custom bass lines, and I've been working on some stuff trying to get some good custom melodies, but it's a little bit harder with the program that I use. It also doesn't help that I've basically forgotten how to read music, because I used to be in the percussion section when I was in band. So I learned music, but being in percussion, I never really learned it very well, which hurts a little bit. But you know, it's easier to pick up intuitively though, because I've done it. I've worked with it before in my life, and so yeah.
Is it spoilers to ask if My Little Dashie is gonna have a song?
No, it's not spoilers. That one actually is going to have a song, and this one I'm really proud of. It sounds really good, actually.
Is it going to be like a parody song, kind of like? Well, I can't think of like an example, but like, is it going to be dedicated to the storyline, or is it going to be, say, I'm trying to, like, let's say, I don't even know what the name of the song is in Captain Hook the Biker Gorilla, but is it going to be, say, a song explaining what's happening, or is it going to be a song more just written with the characters singing about how they're feeling, you know, kind of a, I guess, classic Broadway musical kind of a thing?
This one's, it's not going to be expository.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be kind of, it's going to be about what's going on, but it's not going to be like an explanation of this is what we're doing.
Okay, alright. So...
Next question!
What are we doing?
I no, shut up. Besides like the Rainbow Dash Presents, is there any other projects that you're doing that's pony related or not that you guys are involved in?
Stuff that's not related to us as a whole, or just like...
Well, like any other kind of projects you two are involved in besides like My Little Dashie and stuff like that.
Oh, we've
That are
got
pony
some...
related?
Well,
let's take this one step to like explain dawnsomewhere.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go, Rick.
For those of you who, for the fans who aren't fully aware of all your other things.
Yeah, we actually have we have a website where we do a bunch of entertainment that some of it's pony related, some of it is not. We have a webcomic called Lord of the Dwarves that is actually, we're at 51, I think. Yeah, we'll be coming up on 51 this Monday, hopefully.
Yeah, I gotta make it first.
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes they get delayed, but yeah, that's one of them, and that one's actually going really well. I'm really happy with Lord of the Dwarves. The art's Petirep's gotten some new software, and the art looks really fantastic. I've been working on more concise writing, so it's more readable. The plot's kind of fun. We've got some stuff developing. We've also got another comic called In Sickness and Health, which is being worked on by one of our new voice actors by the name of Kenza. And that one, she's a really great artist, but her art is a little too good. It actually takes a really long time for her to produce most of the stuff that we want her to write, or to draw. So it updates very sporadically. It's only got like 3 panels right now, or 3 pages right now. But it's being worked on at least. Let's see, what else? We have some writing that I do. I write some fan fiction, some ridiculous fan fiction. It's actually not very funny, but if you would like to go read non-funny fan fiction about ponies and politics, this was written back...
Ponies and politics?
Yeah, it's written from the perspective of Celestia trying to manage the country. Like I said, I got into this back during Season 1, when everyone was still kind of speculating on how their whole little world worked. And how Celestia managed to stay in control all those years, and the Tyrant Celestia thing was a big theory, of course. And so I kind of got into her, and I borrowed a lot from history, including sources like Queen Elizabeth I, and so on. There are actually a lot of compelling female leaders that some of those things are based on. And so I just wrote kind of a fic on that, and it's gone on like 70,000 words.
Oh,
so
jeez.
yeah, it's not a light read, but if you just have a ton of time to kill, you can check that out.
I'll read that.
Yeah, I started a romance fic with humanized ponies, and that was kind of an interesting one just because it was a way to try and figure out how to turn their colorful, happy little world into more of a human, kind of relatable sort of thing. Which has only got one chapter, though. So
I really like that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got more done, but I just haven't. I don't know. There's so much to write, and I wrap myself up in so many different projects that unfortunately, yeah, I just can't get to everything. I've got a guide for making OCs, original characters. If you like to make original characters, you might like to read the guide, and then you could have some ideas, or also just some laughs at it. It's kind of comical. We've got a CD. If you would like to buy a CD.
Advertising yourselves. No.
Yes.
We accept that.
Yeah, T-shirts. If you'd like to buy T-shirts, and of course the T-shirts we actually don't make very much money on, but we do sell T-shirts if you guys like T-shirts. I think we'll get some out there. Some people wanted more of slogans from the show, and I kind of we didn't do that. I still want that silver monkey one though. The silver monkey poetry.
Speaking of monkeys, is there a reason why you just use them instead of humans for the show? Because I think it's actually it's much better than actually using humans, monkeys or apes or whatever you use.
Well, I think Lauren Faust, when she did her interview, she was really adamant about there being no humans in the show. She says there are no humans, they just ponies. And so we've kind of tried to follow through with that, and we have no humans, just ponies. The apes, though, she never said anything about apes, or apes that are basically people. So
it's like Planet of the Apes style, it looks like you've gone with.
Yeah, we just go, whenever we have a fic that involves human beings, they just become primates. Primates of some other sort. And
because why would Dash know what a human was? So
yeah, there are no humans. They do not exist.
There you go.
But after My Little Dashie, we actually have a short plan. I'm excited about that one.
Yes, starring Aurora, who we love.
Yes.
Who a lot of people actually love, because she's adorable and hilarious. That's one of those characters that is just really great. That was another one of those where we had the lines, and I wrote down like, this is kind of what I picture for the character, and I got nothing at all like what I described. And it was way better than anything I could have asked for, so we just ran with it.
She was originally supposed to sound like Kermit, wasn't she?
Oh God.
She was. That was one of the things. Kermit the Frog. Yeah, that's how I wrote it. She was originally going to be like Kermit, and then he was just like, nah, I can do Bill Cosby though. So that's what we got.
You want Kermit the Frog? But I can do a Bill Cosby. I don't know. It's a bit better, but. I don't know, I'm obsessed with that Bill Cosby voice now.
It's how you guys just... I love the voices. I have to say that again. The voices, they just work. Now, the problem is, after I watch, like, your Rainbow Dash Presents, and I go watch the show, I think of their voices as your voices. So it's like...
I had that back when I used to put out an episode every week. I eventually got so used to hearing my own voice coming out of the ponies and being just so mean too that it kind of threw me every now and then when I go back to the original show and just be like, oh, that's right, they're actually like nice to each other and they're girls.
Is there a reason why you've made them so mean to each other?
Just because it's kind of the opposite of the whole friendship is magic thing. Well, not totally actually. It's more it's another one of those things where like I said, logic over emotions is you take like 6 different female personalities and they're all because they're girls, that's why they're so mean. But no, they're all like 6 different girls or 6 different personalities. They have nothing in common, and then you put them together and you force them to be coworkers. Like, they would fight with each other, like constantly. It would actually be just ridiculous how often they would fight.
Like real women.
Yeah, they wouldn't get along. They wouldn't be friends. So
they pretend to be friends.
Yeah, they just do it because they have to, but otherwise they're talking behind each other's backs, and just in general, it's yeah.
It's perfect. I really have to say it's perfect. Fluttershy's always the one that we shun out, so it's kind of like how we shun out Nick sometimes.
Yeah.
Nick knows it all too well, huh?
Yeah, a little too much.
Aw, I'll give you a hug later.
No, you won't.
I won't. I never do. But what inspired you guys to do like the Rainbow Dash Presents series, pretty much?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got to.
Oh, sorry.
I just got a toy pitch from Kenza. It's a little doll. It says, "Hi, I'm Tickle Me Flim Flam," and then when you hug me, I laugh. It's adorable. I don't think we're gonna sell it though.
You should.
You know what? You should sell Miss Buzzy plushies.
Mrs. Buzzy. No, we're kind of looking into getting some plushes made for this upcoming con that we're going to. We spoke to a guy, Neil. Well, it's not impossible. Neil was a really good guy about it. We actually talked to him for a little while, and eventually he just kind of told us like, we asked for like a gaggle of them, and I was like, do you think if we pay you this much, could you make us this many? And we kind of we negotiated for a while, and then he goes, guys, I don't think I can actually make them that fast. Because he works and whatnot, we couldn't do it. So then I went to someone else though, and they were just like extraordinarily rude about it. They were like, "How dare you ask me to make plushes for you? To like make concessions for your needs? Like, who do you think you are?" And which was strange because they identified me right off. They're like, "I expected better from someone from so high in the fandom," and then they were like, "Who do you think you are?" And which is fine. Like, the second part is fine, because being high up in the pony fandom is not really that big a deal, but like, I don't understand. Apparently they make a lot of money anyway, so what can I do? But that kind of put me off the idea of looking for plushes, because it was I was not expecting to be berated for it. I was just like, "Can you make us some plushes? We need 4 in 9 months." And then they were like, "Oh, you terrible person."
4 in 9 months? That sounds like plenty of time.
Yeah. Well, like, it depends on whether or not, like I said, the first guy we talked to, like, he worked and whatnot, and so he just kind of made them when he had time. So 4 in 9 months he thought sounded a little steep. But this other person I contacted appears to make a living on them right now. So, yes. It was, like I said, it was strange. I was not expecting to get in trouble for it. I had no idea that I was doing something wrong. But I don't know. We'll probably go and look around for some other people. But
Yeah.
for right now, I haven't looked into it too much since.
Sorry, but I actually can't. All I can think of now is just like some Girl Scout going up to their door. It's like, "Would you like to buy some cookies? Who do you think you are?"
Yeah.
Going up to my door.
You dare sell me cookies? Blasphemy.
Oh, by the way, there actually is a Mrs. Buzzy plush. I think who was it that? Oh yeah, Pony plush.
You linked me to them, yeah. So that's going to be the person I contact next to see if they can maybe do anything for us.
Is it filled? Is it filled with bread?
No.
I had to. I don't know why everybody hates Mrs. Buzzy, and you actually even questioned that in the show. You're like, why does everybody hate Miss Buzzy? Oh well.
Nobody hates Mrs. Buzzy. Miss Buzzy's always just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She's just a very unlucky bumblebee.
So hopefully, Pony Plush can help you out with that.
That would be nice.
I'd buy a plushie. For sure.
No, I would.
Same. I've always wanted to get a plushie, but they're so damn expensive.
Well, we actually crunched some numbers, and I found out that if you buy like a single plush for $160, based on what Neil told us his expenses were, that's actually pretty competitive pricing. They are not cheap to build in the first place, and they require a lot of man hours to put together. So it sounds really steep, but surprisingly, it's not that outrageous.
Yeah.
Because I could have spent easily $500 on a plushie that I was going for on eBay. I'm like, I can't.
Was it the Lyra plushie?
No, God, It started out at $50, and then I checked in like an hour later, and it went up to $350, and I'm like, nope, Not doing it. Bail.
I'm kind of bummed because I've always been looking for. I went in this phase where I was looking for plushies, and every plushie I saw went up to around $350, and there was this one Trixie plushie that went for that was at $50, and it just stayed there. Like nobody was bidding on it. Nobody was going that competitive, and it ended up selling for about $102. And like, I should have gotten onto it. But I don't know. I'm finally got my own debit card to use online, so I'm probably gonna end up buying a plushie for an outrageous amount of money.
God help us.
I'm drowning them. Apply them in bulk.
Are there any like how do you pick to do a fanfic for the show? Just by you see people demanding it, or do you just pick one that you like?
Well, usually I pick one that I like, but it tends to be the ones that I like are also pretty popular anyway. They're popular because they're well written. So it's not hard. I mean, people are like, check out this one. You get a lot of people who are telling you, check out this one, and so you go and you check it out. And there are ones we can't do, like we can't do Fallout Equestria, and things like that, because that one's 80 chapters long, stuff like that. But some of them are not too long at all, and they just insist. We get a whole bunch of people who are like, dude, we had My Little Dashie demanded for the longest time. And originally I wasn't going to do it until I kind of had some ideas and some inspiration to chase that one, and now we're doing it. So
I feel like we should do Fallout Equestria, and it could be 30 seconds long.
We could, it'll be one of those things. Have you ever seen Parsley Boobs by the guy who does Weeble and Bob? Probably a lost reference.
Weeble. Yeah, his stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
He did a thing called Parsley Boobs. It always used to crack me up, where they were very, very short, and so it'd be previously on Parsley Boobs, and he would just fast forward through everything that happened in every episode until that point, because they were all 10-second episodes anyway, and so he would go through 5 episodes and just have them all be fast forwarded, and yeah. And so it would just be like that, where we would do an episode and it would maybe be 5 minutes long, and then we'll just compress it down to 30.
Seconds.
Yeah. But the problem is that I don't have enough time, I think, to read all of Fallout Equestria. So, for me to grasp what exactly I really want to make fun of about the whole thing might take a while. I'd have to read a few chapters.
Just wing it. Just don't even read it.
Just go off the Fallout games, really. That's how I would do it.
Wouldn't Rainbow Dash just get bored and stop reading, or?
Dash, yeah. No, what would be? Dash would just make it up. It should just be oh no, that's boring. I'm gonna go to this location. I'm gonna do the downloadable content. I don't feel like doing the main storyline.
Is there an audiobook of this? That
I listen to this in the car.
But we've actually interviewed the guy who does My Little Dashie, Rob Caker, I think it's 93.
Cake-Run,
yeah. Okay. He pretty much says, I don't like My Little Dashie. I was like, wow, really? Hey, My Little Dashie? He's like, I wrote it with he wrote it, what was it? He didn't sleep
6-hour writing binge.
Yeah, 6-hour writing binge, and he hadn't slept for 8, for 2 days, I think it was. And he's just I'm just gonna sit down, and then after, we asked him, you want to go back and read it? He's like, nah. Nah, I just want to move on from it. It really has. Everybody's like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. And I mean, it had its time, and now it's time to move on. Kind of like the person who did Cupcakes and Rainbow Factory. They're like, let it die.
Sergeant Sprinkles is pretty cool about it, though. He sent us he sent me a message after we did that one, and he's not. I don't think that he was writing to. I don't think he even expected it to explode like it did. I mean, I remember back when he just wore a trip around the co-threads back before we ever had the My Little Pony board on 4chan. He was just another guy that was kind of hanging out, and he was like, "Oh, I'll write a story," and it was just Pinkie kills Rainbow Dash, and at that time, that was even before Party of One, so it was just sort of oh my god, the show is so cute, and this is so horrible. And that was kind of one of the first really truly terrible fics to come out, though, about terrible in terms of gore and horror and whatnot. That was one of the first ones to actually come out. So, yeah, I don't know. He was just one of the first guys to do that. I don't think that he really... I don't think it was his magnum opus or anything like that.
I prefer your Rainbow Factory better than the original Rainbow Factory because I don't really like the original. It's not gruesome enough. I think it could have been more gruesome. If you're looking for like gore and stuff, kind of had to almost like Sweet Apple Acres Massacre, something like that. That was
No, well, I think that one actually didn't have potential in terms of the gore. It had potential just in terms of
rape.
No, he's talking about Rainbow Factory.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about Sweet Apple Acres, and I'm just like...
Yeah, no. Raping the kids would not have improved that story. No, that one had potential just in the way that if they had stayed indifferent. The problem was that when they showed up to the Rainbow Factory, everybody was like super focused on trying to make them feel bad, which kind of is not how a bureaucratic system works, and I think actually I did a thing on this, and so the author is actually aware because I kind of talked with him a little bit about it, and he goes, it's a good critique, but it was that it starts off and everyone is just completely indifferent, like the girls have failed, and they can't fix it, like there's nothing they can do, nobody cares because it's a bureaucratic system. It's just sort of like the bureaucracy said you're done, so you're done, and they couldn't do anything about it. And the problem was that they lost that theme once they made it to the factory. And suddenly everyone was paying attention to them. Like, they got put in the room and they were like, oh, I demand an explanation. And then Rainbow Dash is like, oh, hey, guys, yeah, I'll go ahead and explain to you. So, like, that was where the ball kind of got dropped on the horror aspect of things. If they had just continued to be utterly indifferent, like just not even paying attention to the girls, or if it had been like a, I don't know, In the Jungle sort of thing, where it was just like, and then they put the kids to work in the Rainbow Factory, and sometimes they got sucked into the machinery, and that didn't go so well, like that kind of stuff, then that would have been just really morbid and dark and whatnot. So, no, Rainbow Factory had potential, but just that, like I said, it didn't follow through with the theme that originally made it very captivating. He focused on the main characters, which he probably never should have done.
What was that theme, by the way? I don't think you explained the theme.
Oh, the theme? Just the theme, bureaucracy and complete indifference through bureaucracy.
Okay.
Yeah.
True.
But...
So...
Oh. Oop, I cracked my neck and now it's like, But, why is there, like, there's pretty much a Batman theme going on in My Little Dashie Presents.
Yeah.
In the pictures you've seen so far?
Yeah.
I am not sure if you've noticed in My Little Dashie how often that guy talks about his dead parents.
He does.
Oh.
Actually, yeah. I'm thinking about that now.
My God.
My parents are dead.
My parents are dead. He hasn't had birthday presents for years.
Did you use the really old crappy meme of where he goes, my heart exploded twice or whatever?
No.
Thank God. Thank God.
Can you do that? Can you explode twice? Oh. Let 20% cooler. Ha 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 ha.
But
I think he had serious heart problems in that movie.
yeah, if your heart is exploding, I'd go see a doctor.
Nah.
If it's exploding twice at once, that's pretty bad.
Nah, you can walk it off.
Be a man. Walk it off.
My legs were cut off once, so I walked it off. Yeah.
But
Is that how you lost your legs? You walked them off?
Yeah, I walked them off, like...
they just started walking away.
They walked off.
When I stood here, they walked away. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I just kind of fell over.
you.
I thought I fell over, but then I looked up. They were just
Legs
walking
just
away.
walked off. Never done.
Oof.
But you guys have any more questions you want to ask before we go to
Actually-
the... Oh,
Yeah,
go.
question.
Go,
Quick,
Ozzy.
Viewer, to everyone on the live stream right now, get your questions set up because we do have a quick. You guys will have your opportunity to ask questions. Please put all questions in bold. We will get to them, so try not to post them twice. But don't spam any questions. Keep it clean. Keep it cool.
Yes. We don't want
And get them
spam.
ready because it's coming up.
whenever we feel like it, actually.
Yeah, I'll catch them as quick as I can.
You do that, Nick. You do that.
Alright, we got one last question before the viewers start.
Go, go,
flooding.
go!
Do we? Oh, actually, yes, I do have a question. So for those of you who aren't aware, Petirep has actually been responsible for the artwork on Monster Cat's last 3 albums, and their Halloween mix. So, Petirep, what was it like? How did they recruit you? Did you just get a message from them one day saying, "What's up, draw"?
Well, what happened was my brother texted me because he followed Monster Cat on Facebook, and he saw that they had this call for artists for some image that they wanted to do, and my brother's like, "Hey, do this." I'm like, "Wait, oh, wow, that's awesome! I can do that." So I messaged Mike, the CEO, with his he has his email on there, and that's it. Just basically started from there. I sent him my DeviantArt to show that you know I have experience in drawing and stuff, and started off by drawing this one little image for their 008 CD, some ad campaign, because they wanted to be #1 on iTunes for, I guess, a few days, as long as they can. But yeah, and after that, they asked me to do the album cover, and I was just ecstatic, and I've been doing their album covers and stuff for them ever since. So it's really cool. I'm almost done with 011 right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's great. Is there any? Do they give you any guidance, or do they just say, "All right"? Because I know for 010, did they say, "All right, we want a lion attacking a gladiator," or what? Did they give you any guidance, or they just let you go nuts?
Yeah, they give me a kind of brief description of what they want. Mike does his little sketch on a piece of paper as well as he can, but usually their ideas are a little ambiguous, and they don't have the vision of getting the composition nice and all that. So I basically take the quick little sketch that they have and shoot it up so it looks really good or better. And yeah, so I have quite a bit of freedom, but they do manage it. I guess they do in certain things. I have to go back and fix things a lot. So
okay. So when you said you showed them your DeviantArt, did you show them anything in particular? Did you happen to show them a Rainbow Dash Presents episode at all?
No, I just said, oh hey, I'm an artist, I have experience. Here's my DeviantArt page, because it was just a casting call, and I just replied to it. I'm like, hey, I'm an artist, I can do it. Here's my DeviantArt for proof. So
okay,
that's really all I did. I don't know what they've seen of me or what. So I think they do know I do the animation thing, but I don't think they've seen Rainbow Dash Presents. I don't know. Maybe they have.
I do know they're at least aware of bronies because they gave Archie, the brony musician, a shout out on Twitter, which was cool. I know my little visuals went nuts for that, but he's a big fan of that. So, I mean, yeah, that's great that Monster Cat have gone with you. So, viewers, questions, go.
Yeah, we got one.
It's a go-go.
We got 2, actually. Angel Wing asks, what will we have to look forward to after My Little Dashie?
We're actually talking about, what is it, Bittersweet? The one where Pinkie gets diabetes?
Oh.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Yeah, are you going to parry that commercial?
Diabetes. No. But I actually was going to do some research on diabetes and find out exactly what it means to kill yourself by eating cookies when you have diabetes. I somehow think that there's maybe like a certain amount of medical research that wasn't done when that fic was made, and it's probably going to alter the way the entire fic would be read if we did that research.
Maybe.
I know a little bit about diabetes, and pretty much it's just diabetes in general is just really losing control of how your blood sugar and stuff, like how you have to take insulin and all sorts of stuff to try to like regulate your body pretty much. And if you don't, you can pretty much die pretty much. That's if you don't regulate it. And literally eating too much sugars or eating too much of this, yes, it's possible to die from it. So I guess eating too much sugar, you would pretty much go into, I believe it's shock first, and then if you don't fix that, you can die. So Pinkie would go into shock and then die. If I'm correct about it. I only know a little bit about it.
Well, I'm looking at some of the things they talk about. Your kidneys failing, which that's a really great way to die. Your eyes go bad. Like, if the whole fic is about Pinkie purposely trying to kill herself through diabetes, it actually looks like an extremely slow and painful way to get killed.
Well, she would have to lose a leg, too, or something.
Yeah, they talk about losing nerve damage is a big thing. So it's not like you do just eat a box of cookies and then die, which is what the fic kind of portrays it as. So it'll be more about Pinkie just refusing to admit that there are better ways to kill herself. Probably.
It takes years.
Yeah, this is more kind of in the I'm pretty sure we're gonna do it, but I'm gonna actually write the script for that after a little bit more research, and when I know exactly what happens when you do decide that you're just gonna let diabetes kill you, because
I still have to read that. Actually, it's a comfort fic.
When it actually starts, Pinkie is already dead, but they open up, and the opening of the fic is Pinkie killing herself by eating too many cookies, which again, like I say, didn't sound very accurate. So
maybe there's rat poison in it. I don't know.
I don't know. I've got all kinds of books and people I can contact though about diabetes and its treatment and its dangers, and so I can really easily put together a fic that kind of yeah. So
can you, if you were gonna do that fic, you gotta say diabetes.
Diabetes. Well, Pinkie of course can't pronounce anything correctly, so someone at least will be pronouncing it diabetes.
Aurora.
Oh God. Actually, would be perfect. Okay, so
the next
lazy,
Oh.
lazy, just lazy, nothing else. NSFW opinion club.
Oh God.
Oh, I think it's on 4chan all the time, but I'm kind of one of those guys who sort of I wish it wasn't so much. I feel like it attracts a lot of visitors in their young teens and whatnot, and it's sort of like and then people who also just want to come there specifically for the porn. And if you don't really care for it, which I don't, it becomes just spam. It's like you kind of want to like not have. It's annoying. It's like you just kind of want it to go away. So yes, that's my take on it. Just sort of kind of obnoxious in the forums that I visit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I would say about it too. It's just, yeah, no, thank you.
It's like Tosh.0 did something on that. He had that on his show, and he had about NSF on there too. And it's like really, and
well, it tells you how not tantalizing it is when they didn't even censor it.
Yeah.
And
then he threw himself in there as a teddy bear, which I found kind of funny actually.
That was hilarious. I love Tosh.0. I love Daniel Tosh's report on that, because people are like acting like it's the most out of character thing that he's ever done. That he's never Daniel Tosh has never generalized before. He has never made a cruel joke. Ponies is like one of his more lenient things. Have you heard the things he said about African Americans? The generalizations he's made? Come on.
Yeah, it's horrible. But
I found that report hilarious.
But I love Tosh.0. I love it.
Right. So, so Switchboard 505 asks, is there going to be any explanation in show for skipping episode 11, or just skipping it for Mentally Advanced series? Did I get the name right?
No, we totally released it. It's already released. Yes, yeah, we released it. If you didn't, if you didn't happen to catch it, yeah, it's because only good children can see it, and
good children.
it's like a fairy, and yes.
All right.
You have to either be drunk enough or young enough, or just generally pure enough. I guess
I can get drunk enough for it.
And you'll be fine. See, but then you won't be pure enough, though. That's the problem.
Aww.
You have to be innocent and drunk.
I'm never innocent. I'm too old and I've been in war, so I'm totally not innocent.
Not pure soul, pure mind. The internet has corrupted my mind. I'll never be pure.
I went to 4chan once. It was terrible.
Yeah, you're crying.
I was up in a corner just going, why?
So, which board was that?
I don't know. That's
Which one wasn't that?
Oh, you just went to the home page.
Oh, B.
Couldn't handle the home
Browse
page.
B for a while. Find something you like.
You would.
Alright, Sweetie Gold asks, was the person stuck up about doing a plush named Claire Sparkman? You connect the dots on me.
I don't know who Claire Sparkman is. I don't know. Is that their real name? I don't know. I'm sure. I can tell you what their trade name is, but
yeah, like it was already answered in the chat that people already asked Claire and it wasn't. But yeah. Anyway.
I suck.
Yeah. Bolton asks, "What's your advice to young new artists?" I'm gonna direct this question over to Finn.
depends on what kind of artist you want to be. Petirep could give you more on drawing. I kind of want to hear
your kind of like advice for writing as well, along with Petirep's drawing advice, art advice.
With writing, it depends kind of on what your big problem is. One thing that I had to stop doing was I was so used to academic writing that everything I did had a lot of purple prose in it. And if you're not familiar with that, purple prose is when you just write, you have a lot of, I don't know, description and it's just full of like, it's to slow the reader down so that the person grading your paper doesn't actually carefully read your work. You want them to just like skip right through and look for key points, then give an A. And so I had to actually quit doing that because I spent so much time writing for academics. So as far as writing goes, if you happen to be in college, be aware you might actually be doing that without realizing it because they've trained you to do that. You get a better grade when you do that. Another thing, I guess characterization is always really big, is just focus on coming up with your characters and list out their backstories and kind of why it is they want to do the things they do. They shouldn't be terribly outlandish. You want them to be relatable, make sense. And one big thing though is whenever you write, never have your characters do things based on logic first. Always emotions. They have their feelings and then they reason those feelings out. The logical part of your brain processes information very last in all situations. So always write with that in mind.
Yeah. Like 30.
Okie doke. So, Silverblaze asks, do you plan on creating videos based off people's OC/Arse blogs?
And I don't have any plans for anything like that. There's less to do in terms of that than there is with the what's its fan fiction.
Wait, where? I don't know. I can't. I mean, there's a couple of OC blogs that have like a story behind that. Maybe you could do, say, Rainbow Dash Presents with that, but I don't know.
Yeah, but a lot of those are kind of already parodies already, or
yeah, a lot of them are joking around anyway. There's not the highly serious backstories. Alright, so
More question.
Sin actually.
I never got the answer to that. I never got the answer.
He never got the answer.
sorry.
Yeah, Tommy just kind of like.
I was kind of directed him.
Well, you know.
Damn it, Tommy.
Keep going.
You ass.
Keep running and get out of the way.
Want me to answer?
Oh, go ahead.
Of course.
Well, I guess one thing that I made a post about this recently, but one thing that I would highly recommend new artists is that focus a lot on the sketch layer. A lot of people like to just rush through that and get to the final thing. because that's just kind of, you know, new artists are always focused on the end result, but a lot of times it's the stuff that comes before that you don't see in the end product that actually helps the end product the best. Like the sketch layer, I always make sure it's anatomically correct and it's real nice and all that. But a lot of people just skim through that and focus on all the nice shading and the nice lighting and all the nice colors and all that, but their characters will look warped and weird. And I notice a lot of times artists are kind of insecure about their art because, you know, and people say, oh no, it's good and all that. And I would just say, you know, be confident in what you do, but also, you know, be critical of your own art, but don't overdo it, I guess. I'm rambling at this point, but yes.
I do that all the time.
Yes.
This show is all about rambling.
Rambling.
Ramble.
Ramble.
Next question!
Rabbles.
Alright. So, IB Corbin asks, how do you find voice talent? Close friends, or do you just find people?
Most of them are friends of mine. We do occasionally draw on people from the internet. Alice actually came to us from the internet, from the mysterious annals of the internet. Kenza, we found through Tumblr, actually. She contacted me in an email. Not to do voices, though. She actually contacted me just to chat. She thought that I was interesting, and then it turns out we had a similar sense of humor. And eventually I just asked her to do some lines. And her delivery of those lines was kind of adorable. She has the face of fear. She's terrifying. You guys will all just you'll pee yourselves when you hear Kenza's lines. So.
All right. So next question. Switchboard 505 asks, do you have any other plans for your version of Aurora and Orion?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we do. We like them very much. Orion, I don't know as much because it depends on kind of what Spottable Bus is doing right now. I don't know what her schedule is like a whole lot because I haven't seen her too much lately. But Aurora, though, I know what's going on with DeMarcus, and so I know we could do some stuff with Aurora for sure.
Sweet.
I love Auroran.
Aurora.
Roaring.
Roarin. Her name is now Roarin.
Aurora.
I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I am mentally tired.
Wow.
Well, you know, you're the fat one.
I know. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not even fat. You're the fat kid.
Okay, so Vexing_guy asks, do you ever plan on doing Rainbow Dash Presents on Rarity's generous plan?
No, that one's a rape fic. We well, the original idea of Rainbow Dash Presents came from just my kind of musings on how Dash would sabotage that whole thing. It is still. I don't. The thing is we direct people to the fics afterward, and I don't really want to be directing people to fics where there's any kind of explicit content or anything that's too offensive. I mean, I guess like what you would term as offensive varies by person, but still, it's got explicit content in it, and we don't want to mess with that.
Yep, understandable. Okay, so Lone Nova asks, are the original MLP episodes? Did you ever come back? Okay, sorry, I can't even read that question. I apologize.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah. Oh damn.
I'm trying to them too.
Sin asks, approximately how many hours do you work on Rainbow Dash Presents per week?
Let's see.
Less than I used to, now that Petirep has taken over the editing for that.
Yeah. I don't know. It really depends. Sometimes I have a really good week, and I'll just have like a really good productive days, and where I'll just spend my afternoon working on it. So it could be a couple hours, and then I'll take a break in a couple hours. But I spend quite a bit of time working on it, I will say. I don't know exactly how many hours that would be, but that's quite a while. If I say how many hours it actually is, it'll probably shock me, so...
Okay.
So next...
Fim... Oh, how about FiMFlamFilosophy? How many hours would you say you spend, say, playing what you're going to write? Or is it just one of those things that you just think about when... kind of daydream about, think about what you're going to do?
I kind of tend to write more in a stream of consciousness when I sit down, but there's time between writing when I kind of have ideas, and so I try to hang on to them when I have them. But a lot of times, though, no, I do just kind of sit down and do things. And even we're starting to do episode 12 again. I'm surprised by I've fallen back on just doing the lines without a script and then putting them in there. And I don't know, it works. The only time it doesn't work is when I've got someone else who's got to do editing or lines for me. And in which case I write them out their lines, and that way we know kind of what's going on. Otherwise, though, no, I don't. I just kind of sit down and do it. It takes some research sometime. Like I said, when I tell you, like, I'm going to be doing some research on diabetes in advance, but that's a little bit different. It's not like it's not like there's no work that goes into the writing. I get the ideas from somewhere and look stuff up and kind of plan things out, but the writing itself is mostly just done. I just kind of sit down and go.
Okay.
So, Pikmin Master of Evil asks, who voices Pinkie, and why'd you choose that kind of an accent for her?
I voice Pinkie Pie, and I chose that accent because it reminds me of the cultists from what was it from? Dawn of War. Because if you've ever played that game, there were these cultists, and they ran around and they just screamed everything. They couldn't control themselves, and so you tell them to go capture a point. They say, "We will capture it for you, Master. We will claim the Dark Gods."
Yeah,
and then you will give us their power.
I actually never realized that. I love Dawn of War.
So Pinkie,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Finishing off it.
Yes.
She's also
Always finishing. I used to, whenever I said something smart and I finished off a sentence, I always make myself sound stupid by finishing off with or some shit. But now I just finished off with yes.
Yes.
I'll explain a really long math problem to someone. And I'll just go, so that's why x equals 1. Yes. It's amazing. I love Pinkie's voice.
So good.
Do we have any more chat questions?
We have one more, actually. Switchboard 505 asks, to Fim, what was the inspiration for Lord of the Dwarves?
For Lord of the Dwarves, actually, the inspiration for that came from a game that we played. It was a role-playing game, which, if you're not familiar with that, pen and paper role-playing is when you just kind of sit down with your friends and you play characters in a story, and one of your friends tells the story. And it's been roughly adapted, so we're actually following the story kind of, not too well. I mean, we've rewritten everything. There were originally many more dwarves, and also the character 8 wasn't originally just named 8. He was actually named Dwarf 1, 4, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 7, something like that. It was kind of ridiculous. It was not going to work for the comic, so he's just 8 now. And like I said, there were probably about 12 dwarves or more in the original game that we played. But the game was basically about these dwarves that traveled off. They got expelled from their mountain home by a demon, and then the whole point of the game was to get home. Unfortunately, it was just a one-shot game, and it ended before we ever really got anywhere. I believe we got as far as to getting sheep for the goblins. Except actually, we never got sheep for the goblins. We ran into the sheep after we ran into goblins. So like I say, there have been a lot of changes since the original game, but that's what kicked off the idea. Other inspirations include Dwarf Fortress, Lord of the Rings. Terry Pratchett is a really big influence on my perception of dwarves. We've got some stuff, the tale of Xenophon, who was a man who had to travel across enemy lines from Persia back to Greece. is a story that actually the Warriors are based on, and of course we've got some influence from the Warriors, if you guys are familiar with that movie. And so yeah, so we've got a lot of things that one's kind of being drawn from, and you know, our dwarves are just now starting their journey. Meeting the goblins has been their first kind of event since they've gotten out of the mines. But yes, but that's kind of where we're drawing from.
Awesome. So, okay, and I've lost my question. Yes. Okay, so Sin asks, what do you guys do for a living?
Oh,
I'm a student.
Alright.
For me, for a while, I took a year. I was a student when I first started this thing, but then I took a year off of school. I just got exhausted with classes and everything. I switched to major, and so I wound up being in school for a lot longer than the average person was, or is, for about 6 years, and I've got to go back for like another 2, which is kind of a pain. So I just decided to take a year off. I'm going to go back and finish it up. And in any case, while I was doing that, I was working for a land survey crew. And so I was out in the fields, I was wandering around in the woods with a machete and a GPS unit, which we broke a couple times, just the antenna. So not too expensive, only $40 every time we broke the antenna. and yeah, so that was actually kind of fun. As I did a lot of things, I got clearance to go out and work on our local international airport, which is just a bureaucratic nightmare. There's all kinds of things, all kinds of places I've been around the city since when I started that job. I have since though quit that job as I'm going back to school for this upcoming semester. I'm going to be finishing off my degree, and aside from that, I work at a pharmacy, and that's what I do part-time, and that's how I continue to live. We do make a little bit of money off of Rainbow Dash Presents and stuff like that, but it's nothing near close enough to live on. You can essentially, if you are an alcoholic, you can drink the money away, no problem. I've actually cut down on the drinking quite a lot though over time. Kenza didn't like it very much, and she kind of asked me to drink less, and so I agreed to drink less and whatnot. So yeah, so we don't make much money on that, but it's a little bit extra that kind of helps out.
I feel your pain.
Yeah. So I'm not in dire straits. I make very little money, but I survive. So.
Yeah, being in the army, you don't make a lot of money either. Even they say, "Oh, it's all free housing and all that's free." Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. For what I do, I don't get paid enough for what I do. It's bull crap.
I had a friend in the reserves who ditched it as soon as they let him out. He actually didn't get sent on combat duty, but he got shipped kind of all over. He wound up in like South America numerous times.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, and he says that was just stupid because there was stuff out there. I mean, there was like nothing going on, so they just kind of had him doing MP work. And of course, when you're military police, you're not really like armed.
Oh yeah, he kind of got he's in the line of area, kind of what I do, pretty much. I'm a combat engineer, so 12 Bravo, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's 21 or 12 Bravo. And I go around in a truck, purposely being blown up.
Really?
Yes, it's a truck called the Husky, and it's designed to be blown up. And if it gets blown up, you're just like, oh, we're fine, you're fine. Put the wheels back on, and you're rolling. That's pretty much all we do. Or we go and find bombs and poke them with a stick. I swear to God, we poke them with a stick.
To see if they're live?
To see they're live and to try to get underneath them, wire up some explosives to them, and then blow them up. And that's all I did until, I don't know, when was it? I got blown up.
4 months ago?
4 months ago? Yeah, I came back. I remember doing a show, our old show, and I'm all hyped up on drugs. I'm like, what's up, guys? I got blown up. I'm in Germany.
That's scary if they don't. You didn't have any internal injuries, did you?
No, I pretty much blew off almost my leg, and I'm being nursed back to health. And they're like, and the VA hospital's telling me, oh, you have to go to the intensive training or whatever the hell it is. And I'm like, I'll just walk around my house or hop around my house on my good foot. But the only casualty that I have to say on my side, well, the guy that stepped on the ID's gone. But other than that, I lost my little pony Dashie that I had in my shoulder pocket. A piece of shrapnel cut her in two and cut my shoulder, and pretty much just cut really deep in my shoulder, and I couldn't use my shoulder forever, and my tendons are gone, and pretty much everything in my right hand's pretty much almost 100% numb, so I can't play the guitar anymore or anything. So,
and on
I'm
that,
a cripple.
Yeah, on that very sad note, it's about time we should wrap up the show.
Don't pity me! Don't pity me!
Do we think 3 more questions?
Yes, I don't want to end on that sad tone.
Okay. Okay, so Shockmaster asks, why does Celestia and Luna sound like the merchant from Resident Evil 4?
That's actually, I don't know. Alan just kind of picked a voice, and that's what he came out to sound like. He realized it a while later, though, as he came over and he goes, hey, Greg. He goes, hey, Greg, want to hear something funny? He says, I'm going to do my Luna voice. He goes, I'm going to do my Celestia voice. And he just goes, hey, stranger, what are you buying? And I was like, oh, goddamn. So that was one that we just didn't realize until later.
Okay, so that's amazing. Okay, so Pickmaster of Evil asks, if there was a portal to Equestria and you only had 5 seconds until it closed, what would you do? Would you jump in and leave everything behind?
No, I would probably just let it close. I don't care. I don't want to go live in Pony World.
Lame.
Take a peek in it and just go,
YOLO.
Take a picture real quick with the camera phone. I wouldn't be fast enough. I'd be like, how does it work?
throw a bomb in there.
Yeah, Twitter.
Like
wow.
some grass.
Yeah. Blow down an apple tree. I'd jump in. Fuck that.
I don't know. I don't know. Do I want to be like put into like a zoo or something because
Yeah.
he'd be the only human there?
Yeah, you'd probably be.
Maybe you'd be
second-
worshipped. You never know.
You'd probably die
Celestia,
by second.
Celestia would probably stab you with her horn or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Ken's
Yeah, my country.
What are you doing here?
Okay, so the last question I'm gonna pick.
Will Tim Allen?
I have to
be
pick
a-
one last question, and I'm.
I like the Sweetie Gold how she goes. Will Tim Allen ever be a quest star on RDP?
That's a G.
What?
That's a G, right? It's
I can't
guest
see.
star.
I can't see really with the underline, and I'm looking through the mixer chat. So
a quest star.
really, I hate all our guests sometimes when they ask questions like this.
You mean our viewers, not our guests.
No. That's actually from an episode. It was a joke we were making. It was just like it was like, oh, here we've got they got Big Mac, and they're like, what can Big Mac do that's great? And Dash is like, well, I know, he could pee standing up. Which was just one of those things. It was like Rarity went to go get a guy, and they're like, so what's great about a guy? And they're like, guys can pee standing up. What are you talking about? They're great. And yeah, she can already pee standing up. It was sort of a joke that bent the rules of how horses actually worked, but
Yeah.
I
So. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish up.
no, that's all I had to say about that.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Final question. Sir HCX asks, what's your opinion on the fan art built around Rainbow Dash Presents?
Oh, sorry, say that again.
So, he asks, what's your opinion on fan art built around Rainbow Dash Presents?
Oh, it's adorable. A lot of times.
Yeah,
we
love
actually
fan
have.
art.
Yeah, we have a lot of it on the site. We showcase it every now and then. In fact, we actually like it a lot. Our only problem is right now comments on our website are messed up. So if you leave us comments, Petirep and I can read them, but they won't show up. So I've been trying to troubleshoot that. We've had a look at the code, but you can also comment on fan stuff, but that same thing, it will not show up. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
You know what? One more question, because I don't know, y'all. What else do you read / watch / enjoy besides MLB?
I've been watching Outlaw Star with Kenza lately. We also like Paranoia Agent. We have stuff besides anime. She really likes Emperor's New Groove. We watched that recently.
Gosh.
MST3K is a good one. Oh, what else? What else have I been watching with her? Yeah, she sent me a text. Oh yeah, she wants to finish her fan art. What do I like too? Yeah, I like Emperor's New Groove too. She's on my case about it. She's actually on Skype too right now. I can't think of what else, but we watch a lot of videos together. She really likes Disney. I kind of like Disney too. So I don't know. I have a lot of things that I kind of watch and read. I like my history books, among other things. Terry Pratchett. Terry Pratchett is awesome. I've got an entire book, an entire like shelf full of just his books. I don't know. How about you, Petirep?
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of movies recently. Just renting old movies that I should have seen but haven't seen. I've recently finished watching Sergeant Frog. That was fun.
Yeah, Sergeant Frog.
Yeah. And let's see. I'm catching up on Psych. The new season's on Netflix. What other stuff? I don't know. I watched a little bit of Star Trek recently. That was fun. I don't know. I watched so many things. I can't. It's hard to think of one specific things right now. Yeah, I guess. I do other things.
Somebody brought up Zero Punctuation. That's another thing that I keep up with. I really like that guy.
Oh yeah, Zero Punctuation.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
I don't know. Go to our website. Buy albums. Shirts are good too. But yeah.
What's the website name for it? So I can put that up.
DonSomewhere.com.
Yep.
Don.
It's always Don somewhere.
D-O-N.
No, D-A-W-N.
Oh. I heard Don. Not Dan. Okay.
Dawn.
Don.
Damn it. So, oh, Dawn.
Oh my god,
like,
it's in the chat quicker than you can put it in.
Jeez.
The chat.
You owe me $10, Ragin.
The chat that has.
I owe you a lot of
got
money,
it in
Nick.
quicker than you.
Every time, yeah. Just make it a rule. Every time Ragin messes up a name, he owes me $10.
And every time we ignore Nick, we get money.
Well.
Boy.
While
Internet fight.
Yeah, while we're plugging things, go follow us on Tumblr. CloudsDale-Cafe.tumblr.com.
We're only about
Facebook.
6 away from 100.
From 100.
Yeah.
In case you couldn't already tell.
Oh, no, we're 5 away now. We're 5.
Fucking noise.
So, and if you have anything that you want to see that we can put on the show, we haven't had anything in a while on our Gmail, so send stuff to our Gmail and we will put it on the show depending on, if it's clop or anything like that, we're not going to put it on. We're sorry, we won't do that. We'll admire it on the off show and we'll be like, But other than that, if you have anything like fan fictions or PMVs or anything that you want to advertise, we will put it on the show and we will show it. So submit to us at CloudsDaleCafe@gmail.com. Yep, I said it right.
No, you didn't.
Whatever, Nick.
This episode will also be on YouTube in case you want a review at youtube.com/CloudsDale Cafe. That's one word.
And you can download all the episodes now through Mediafire. God.
And the links are on the YouTube.
Yep, they're all in the YouTube. So once this gets posted by tomorrow, you can download this, listen to it in the car, or listen to it in the elevator. I don't know. I don't care where you listen to it.
Listen to it in the shower.
Just
listen to it while you're running.
This plug has been going on for like 5 minutes now.
I like to plug it for a long time. But this has been the CloudsDale Cafe, and I have been your host, Ragin Pinkie Pie, and we have Tommy.
Goodbye.
We have Nick.
Hello.
We have... Wait. No, we don't have Shadow or Cinnamon. Okay, never mind. Those are the other guys.
That took you a couple minutes there.
I know.
Anyway, thanks, Greg and Ryan, for coming on to our show.
Yep. No problem. Yep.
So, we are the CloudsDale Cafe, and stay sexy out there.
Oh.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Go away.